Hi guys!
Hey folks, I'm Tina Hui with Follow the Coin, and we are with two really incredible people that are going to work on an incredible event coming up. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Great. I'm Lauren Lance. I'm a Bitcoin entrepreneur and educator. I'm working with O'Reilly Media to help put together a series of videos on Bitcoin and help educate the world on what it actually is.
Wow.
I'm Kieran James Lubin. I'm a mathematical physicist and a big Bitcoin enthusiast. And Lauren and I are working together planning the conference in the Bitcoin space.
The conference.
The conference. That's absolutely right.
Well, that's a bold statement.
I don't think so.
Tell us about the conference. What's it called?
It's called Bitcoin and the Blockchain.
Risks, realities, and rewards.
Great. So what's it about?
Well, the thing that we find out there is there's so much misinformation on what Bitcoin is, what's all this blockchain. Most people only hear about Mt. Gox or Silk Road, but there's so much to be learned, as you know, just from watching your show. But people in corporations don't know this. People that aren't in the space don't know what it really is. So we're getting together the right experts in the right fields to educate people in corporations how they can leverage Bitcoin and the blockchain.
Well, when is this event?
It's January 27th at Fort Mason in San Francisco.
Look at that, January 27th. So, I mean, after the holidays. We actually just had the Bitball Awards Gala.
That's right.
And maybe next year you guys' conference will win Best Conference of the Year.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
It's going to be the best conference.
If you say it's the best.
Well, it will be me.
It's O'Reilly Media.
So, yes, let's talk about that
Everything
more.
they do is good.
Everything they do is great. And how did O'Reilly get involved in Bitcoin, and why are they doing this event? And talk about that a bit.
Well, Tim O'Reilly actually told us when we first had our intro meeting on this conference. Do you remember what he said?
Yeah. So we were all, so Lauren and I didn't really know what was going to happen during this meeting, but we met in, I guess, the O'Reilly, sort of their venture fund office, which is also in San Francisco. And we didn't know we were going to meet Tim, or I didn't anyway, and then we did. But Tim kind of drew a historical analogy with, the open source free software wars of the 90s, and thought that, so O'Reilly back then legitimized open source and free software, and he thought it was the time now to do the same thing for the blockchain.
And that was literally just in a meeting as we were all brainstorming about this conference.
That's so great.
And it was just Tim, just starts talking. He just starts talking about this, and we're all like quiet and listen, like, as though you're at a conference with a pre-planned script or something. He was just going, and actually that's how we're starting this conference.
Well, that's how I think a lot of conferences start, actually. You just don't really have a plan, and then you do, right?
No, I actually mean
the schedule.
The schedule.
Oh, really? Just like that? That's
yeah,
great.
like he's one of the first speakers.
Oh, that's
and
great.
Just like he, talked to us about that comparison with the 90s, he's going to share that with the audience.
That's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
So who are the other speakers?
Let's see. We've got an excellent speaker list.
Some of them.
Maybe we should actually pull it up. But
You
so
can pull it up.
Lauren sold himself short. He's speaking first, and then I think Tim is right after Lauren. So Lauren is going to explain basics into some intermediate stuff, what Bitcoin is,
Right.
for the general audience, and then we'll get the historical context from Tim. Then we're going to learn from the CTO of BitGo how to secure your Bitcoin, Mike Belcher.
Right.
Mike Belcher. He's great.
After that, we're going to learn about payment processing. So we've got the CEO of BitPay,
Stephen Pear.
And we've got Roger Gu from Coinbase.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And then after that is the international panel.
That's right.
As much as we hear a lot about what's going on here in the Western world, really Bitcoin can bring so much value to the unbanked.
Right, I know.
The billions of people
unbanked.
unbanked.
That's going to be the most effective thing with Bitcoin, especially in the world.
Absolutely. So we're bringing Ron Hose from coins.ph. So he's helping bring Bitcoin to the Philippines. And Sebastian. He was there last night at the Bitball.
Sebastian, he's great.
Yeah,
Yes,
Sebastian
Bitpagos.
from Bitpagos. And he's bringing Bitcoin to Argentina.
Yes, he's
which
doing a
is-
phenomenal job.
Absolutely.
And they have such high inflation rates. It's really, really helpful. It's
Absolutely.
very volatile over there. So
So huge social impact. So they're going to have a panel as well. Really stoked about that one. And that's the morning, is just getting people up to speed on what are some of the big stories in the Bitcoin world.
and then what happens in the afternoon?
The afternoon is more about kind of the future, with the focus on Bitcoin 2.0, though we will close on an actual futurist panel later in the day.
Right.
But so we're going to highlight some of the quote Bitcoin 2.0 projects. Stellar, they've got an interesting story.
Oh yeah, definitely. Joyce is doing
Indeed,
great
Joyce
stuff.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
And hopefully we intend to get Jed and Joyce there. After that, we've got Ethereum. So we've got Vitalik Buterin from
Vitalik.
Ethereum, and he'll explain what Ethereum is,
He's
his
only
vision.
20.
He's
right?
only 20.
Okay, I just want to make sure of that.
Yeah, he won one of the 20 under 20 Teal
Okay.
Fellow Awards.
That's so great.
So yeah, whenever he's here, he stays in the Teal Fellow House in the Mission.
Nice.
But yeah, he was 19 for most of it. Then he turned 20. So
Just 19.
Just
okay.
19. Right.
When I was 19, I was playing with Transformers. It was-
When I was 19,
Well-
yeah, I was.
Oh, we forgot about the morning VCs.
Oh,
We
yeah,
got some
the
huge
VCs,
VCs.
that's right.
Yeah.
we have Naval from AngelList
Mhm.
and Balaji from Andreessen Horowitz.
Very nice. Wow.
Yeah, and they're both invested in Bitcoin companies.
And Dreesen's going to be one that everyone's excited because they don't actually go to that many events.
No, yeah, I was a little surprised when we got, but
Yeah.
it's arriving.
It's a
So
rally.
The
It's
quality is going to be
absolutely.
up there. We're very excited to see them in
Yeah.
person. And they're good friends. I think they're just going to have a conversation. Who is moderating?
Which?
They're-
Oh yeah. So that's Scott Robinson.
Oh, okay.
You missed. Yeah.
Yes.
From Plug and Play.
Yes, he's great.
So he's also a VC.
See, what else is going on the afternoon?
So we-
have Bill Janeway and
Yeah.
Greg Kidd of
Of Ripple.
Chief Compliance Officer of Ripple. We're here at Ripple Labs, actually.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rick.
Both being interviewed by Tim O'Reilly about the whole ecosystem, but with a focus on the compliance aspects that are a constant source of friction and people don't really like to talk about. But you'll get the straight truth from Bill and Greg Kidd.
That's great.
Can I just do one quick thing? There's a library right here. Oh yeah. Just gonna grab an O'Reilly textbook. Yeah, O'Reilly JavaScript.
There we go.
Yeah.
JavaScript.
So they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
So why don't you guys talk about what O'Reilly is for folks who may not be so familiar?
Well, I think Tim O'Reilly wrote the handbook on the internet.
Right.
That's what I read on Wikipedia. And from there, he basically, his company, publishing company, wrote all the manuals for developers on, how to code on JavaScript, how to code in iOS. They have videos, they have webcasts. But that's the amazing thing about them is Tim is such a visionary.
Right.
He saw years before everybody else like where the internet was going, and now it's transgressed to every other technology like big data, some IoT, all the other areas, and
Speaking
So-
about IoT,
Yeah.
we do have a
Internet of
segment
Things.
on the Internet of Things in the afternoon.
Oh, that's right.
There's some exciting work by the guys at Pinocchio.io.
Oh yeah.
You know Pinocchio?
Yes.
Okay. Pinocchio.
Yes. It's a really cute play on words.
Right.
Mm.
So Jur Miller, we kind of know, and he's excited about interfacing with the blockchain.
Yes. It's
and
going to be interesting to see all the new technology, I think. that's
he thinks that
emerging.
the right way for lightweight mobile devices to transfer value is the blockchain, and I agree. And maybe he'll figure out the right way how to do it. So Jur is actually going to teleconference, and we've got their CEO, Greg Jennings, giving the real presentation.
Oh, that's great.
Then we've got a panel on smart contracts. In fact,
smart contracts.
Smart contracts.
What's that?
I can tell you, but you should really just come to the conference and
Exactly.
have it be explained by the experts. So on the panel, Primavera Di Filippi. She's at the Harvard Berkman Law Center. They do technology and society, and with the moderator of the panel has actually just gotten a book offer from Harvard University Press on smart contracts and related things. So that's Aaron Wright. He's at Cardozo Law School, and the second panelist is Steve Omahundro, who's a mathematical physicist like me. And he works in AI and many other things, but he's quite interested in smart contracts.
Very great. Smart contracts are going to be the future, I think, maybe. What do you guys think?
We hope that we can disintermediate all the lawyers. Now, the lawyers are smart. They might re-intermediate themselves.
That's
lawyers
right.
are very interested in the Bitcoin space. I think they're figuring out how to not get,
Yeah, I think lawyers will start learning how to code in JavaScript.
Well, that's going to be innovative in the future. If you think about it, marketers now also all have to be way more technical,
That's a
because
good
it's all
point.
market analytics, and you're looking at data all the time and real-time performance metrics. So
Right.
you might actually be spot on about lawyers having to learn how to code.
Yeah, if they want to start working in the smart contract industry.
Right. And there's more. We've got a panel on, we've got a presentation on web payments. Eric Anderson, who's the chair of the Web Payments Interest Group Committee. So they'll decide what kind of payment system gets built into HTML6 in a couple of years. And he's also at Bloomberg, very high out there.
Wait, a payment system inside of HTML6?
In HTML, that's exactly right. So
Interesting.
there's going to be web native payments, and maybe Bitcoin will be involved.
How
we'll
exciting
see.
is that?
Yeah. I know that Eric kind of publicly likes Bitcoin. We'll see. He's got parties that are interested, but maybe he'll put it in HTML6, or maybe he'll help. So that could be big.
That would be huge.
That would be pretty huge.
That would be huge, yes.
Convenient
It's
too.
supposed to be the native currency of the internet.
Well,
That's what people
yes.
say.
Right.
The money of the future.
The money.
Digital money.
But should we announce the big name speaker?
Lauren, I think you should.
Awesome. We just got word we're getting Andreas Antonopoulos to speak.
Look at
in
that.
person, on stage, and he's just going to wow the crowd.
He's an incredible speaker.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
Yes.
guys went to Dogecoin, but it was really funny. He went and he was saying he's going to do this, and we had this topic lined up, and he actually was like, screw that, who wants to hear about that? And did a whole different discussion. You just rock it.
Oh, yeah.
Andreas. Thank you.
We love it.
Yeah.
He's
We're
great.
huge fans.
Oh yeah, he's full of
Passion.
But he's,
passion and pithy aphorisms.
yeah, he's got the
And
best
and
one
technical understanding too. It's like
exactly.
a whirlwind.
Exactly.
So yeah, scalability right now.
Oh, that's what it
Peter
was.
Todd. Probably a
Scalability.
conversation with Peter Todd and myself actually. Mostly, Peter Todd is a little too smart. He'll go off the rails if I don't bring him back for the audience. But yeah, scalability. So the blockchain's getting big. Bitcoin blockchain's over 25 gigabytes, which means, if you're running Bitcoin on your computer, you have to store that thing if you want to do the full verification.
Right.
So that's getting too big for the average user. So we're trying to figure out, solutions to that, technical solutions to that problem, so that you know that your Bitcoins are there, without
That's an exciting
trusting
problem.
someone.
It's a great, exciting problem that they're trying to fix.
Yeah.
Indeed. And so Peter's got some ideas of how that's going to go. And kind of related is what Sidechains are trying to achieve. Well, it's slightly different.
What do you think Sidechains is trying to achieve?
Well, so they want to add functionality to the core protocol, but not natively on the blockchain. They want a side chain that's sort of quote pegged to the original blockchain, so that you can sort of transfer some value one way or the other, and then lock it there until you want to move it back. So in this way, they could not change the Bitcoin protocol, but could take in ideas from other chains and still sort of represent that value somehow in the.
'Cause it's difficult to release new features onto Bitcoin when
Exactly.
so many people are using it.
And who knows if the miners will push that new software upgrade. If it's not in their interest, they don't have to do it.
Yeah, there is a lot of vulnerabilities with not updating the technology and software, though.
That's true. But if you
They're
add
always fixing bugs.
if you add a new feature though, it really has to be in the interest of the miners to adopt it.
Right.
Otherwise, they'll just turn it off because they just want their Bitcoins. So I think Sidechains is a bit of a solution to that also.
It could be
Yeah.
good though to always constantly update. I mean, it's
I
probably
agree
a
with you.
safer thing to do, right? Because there was the Heartbleed vulnerability.
Definitely.
And so you kind of wonder. And then new features is always interesting.
Yeah, like even multi-sig, that was recently added.
Yeah, multi-sig is huge. Was it about a year now, or the one that's
Yeah, a little bit more,
something like a little more than a year?
But I'm sure it took a lot of time and effort to be able to add that in and get all the miners to add it, and Sidechains allows for much quicker, addition of features and trying new stuff out
Right.
without actually affecting the core code.
Which
Yeah.
is important. Yes, definitely.
I think so. But
You always want branches in coding.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no, I just deleted everything.
yeah. But again, these are all theories still,
Right.
right? Like they're still theories, so who knows?
If this-
Until
We'll see how it works out.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I saw a comment from Vitalik of Ethereum recently and said that Ethereum is actually automatically a side chain. You can peg Bitcoin to Ethereum just in an Ethereum contract already.
Oh, that's so great.
It is, but also you can't really control what Ethereum gets pegged to.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
interesting.
excellent, but who knows what will end up happening with the sort of general smart
Yeah.
contract facility.
All these kind of conversations, like about, totally separate from Bitcoin, like just blockchain technologies, that's actually where O'Reilly sees, the big opportunity and
Right.
where this whole industry is going. And that's why the whole afternoon is dedicated just to that,
To the future.
to the the blockchain technologies.
Oh, of course, yes, definitely
Yeah.
to blockchain technologies. I mean, I think it is the one thing that everyone, you can't ignore it. I think even big companies, the buzz at Money 2020 was MasterCard is actually taking a look maybe at,
Right.
the blockchain technology. And maybe, who knows, what if like the credit card companies are like, we want to get into digital, let's use the blockchain technology to do it. Something we could all pay with our phones.
Yeah.
And not have to buy an Apple phone.
You can double spend on Apple Pay. That's the rumor that
Oh,
was
really?
circulating anyway. Yeah, somehow the users were able to spend their same
Huh.
asset twice. The Bitcoin community was amused by that.
Well, centralized service.
Indeed,
There you go.
yeah. So if their server screws up.
Yeah. So we're really excited about the conference.
Yeah, it's exciting. I can't wait. I mean, we're going to be there.
Yeah.
We'll be filming.
Yeah, that's right.
and
You'll be
we'll
there.
be covering it. So I guess we'll have to definitely make sure everybody gets there. So
Oh yeah. So it's
who should come to the conference? I mean, everyone. But who's
everyone.
yeah, who specifically?
who are we aiming at? Maybe Lauren can give us some guidance.
Well, we're everybody, but I think it's people and corporations that are not inside the Bitcoin world. They don't actually know what's going on. This is their opportunity to gain that knowledge of, how do you take advantage of this blockchain technology and put it into your corporation.
Right.
Like you were saying, MasterCard's looking at these technologies.
Well,
but-
I don't know. That was a rumor. I
Oh,
do
okay, it's a
know
rumor.
it was like IBM is taking a look with.
Oh yeah.
Okay. But, and
The
they
Internet
say,
of Things stack.
right. And when,
It's a really interesting time right now to be in tech. That's for sure.
That's true. But when those companies say they're looking at it, what does that mean? Oh, we have 2 analysts going around searching the internet trying to read up on what is Bitcoin. Well, no, now you actually got to meet the people who are building the infrastructure, who are building the real tools. And you can meet face to face with them.
Straight from the source.
Exactly. And now, instead of having 2 analysts going around and researching the internet, you can meet these people in person and actually take that into your corporation.
Mm-hmm.
And integrate that into whatever innovations you'll have going forward with your company. So which demographic are we looking at? Which kind of people? Ideal would be people in corporations that are not inside the Bitcoin world and really want to know what's happening.
Right. And also everybody, right?
Of
And
course.
everyone.
You're
Absolutely.
inclusive. You
It's
guys
gonna
are
be awesome.
inclusive.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. Do you know when O'Reilly started being interested in Bitcoin, maybe, or Tim O'Reilly?
Well, so Andreas' book, which has just come out, or
It comes out this
comes
month,
out this
in
month.
December
Okay.
of 2014.
Right, so you can pre-order it.
Yeah.
And so I think Lauren had a review
Actually,
copy.
yeah. So I did a technical review of the book.
Oh, great.
So my name's actually in it.
Oh,
It's
look at
kinda
you.
neat. Yeah,
That's
it's
so
like,
cool.
Now my parents will be proud of me.
Right.
You were printed.
So that must have started 6-8 months ago. I mean,
It started in April.
Okay, yeah.
And
I was sort of watching the book get written on GitHub, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's the amazing thing. That's the amazing story about this book is he used the open source methodology. He put the book on GitHub, and I think about 25 people contributed to the book.
I think that's what's interesting about Bitcoin is it's really opened up so much consideration for open source, decentralized applications of things. For instance, even for the awards for the Bitball, we actually open sourced the nominations, and then we crowdsourced. I guess is a more correct term.
Sure.
Crowdsourced nominations and then crowdsourced votes and judging, and so it's really kind of it's nice. We're really kind of having that conversation over and over again about how to make things more open.
Yeah, and you get so many different perspectives, so many different points of views, and especially with
everyone gets a seat.
Exactly.
At the table.
And when it's such a nascent technology, it's really helpful to have the people who actually contributed to the code to actually contribute to the book as well.
Right, I agree.
And so that's why Mastering Bitcoin, the book, is the book. Like you're starting to see
Gotta go buy it.
Absolutely. So that comes out December 2014.
Pretty smart though, right before Christmas. I guess a bunch of us are buying each other books.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So how long, what are the times of the event and how much is it to attend?
It's January 27th, and it's from 8:45 till 5:30.
That's right. That's on the, as we mentioned, Fort Mason's beautiful venue,
Where
on the
can,
water
Where
in the
can
marina.
people buy tickets?
It's
O'Reilly.com/conferences. It's the top one right now. It's coming the soonest.
Nice.
The early fee, which you get for another 5 days, is $8.95, I believe.
Yeah,
and then it
sounds
goes
about
up to
right.
$9.95.
Very cool, very cool.
It's a bargain. Do it.
Bye,
Bye, guys.